Hello. Hello, welcome. It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Get ready, my Betsies, homies, okay? February astrology has a lot. It's serving a lot of drama, some magic. Some major cosmic shifts are happening this month. From Venus diving into the bold, courageous, could be aggressive Aries, okay, to Mars finally going direct in our sensitive, emotional, protective home Cancer. Plus, we have that fiery Leo full moon happening this month. It's not messing around, okay? So let's break it all down, and you can ride this energy like a pro, okay? Because Danyell Carmelita warned you and told you, okay? Now, I want you to check out some of my last videos because I have a video on Venus. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong video. Venus retrograding. I have a whole video on that. It's actually on this playlist. Now, this is right. Okay. Check out the 2025 playlist. I talk about Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, Jupiter entering Cancer, the North and South node, how they're entering Pisces and Virgo. And now I have the Venus retrograde, a part of that playlist. And upcoming, we have the eclipse I have to discuss and Uranus entering Gemini. Okay. So if you really want to know the tea about 2025, then check that out. Now, before we start, though, and hello to all my podcast listeners, welcome to this episode. But I need all of you guys to, because we're diving into all these amazing February transits, take a second to hit that button. If you are listening to this and watching this via YouTube, hit the button, download this episode. If you are listening to this, subscribe and leave a comment. It helps me out so much. It actually helps others discover my content, and also it supports me in bringing more. It supports me in supporting you and bringing more astrological insights. Okay. Now, additionally, if you guys want to purchase an ebook, I have that. If you want to understand more about your birth chart, go ahead and grab that. The link is down below. It is only $9.99. It is to help you read your own birth chart if you can afford a reading. It's packed with all the basics to help you read your own chart like a pro. Okay. And if you're loving deep dives, if you're really loving astrology, you're loving tarot, and you're like, I want more, join my community. It is $4.99 a month, where I go and I do, I bring down some celebrities in there, okay? And government officials. Also, I have exclusive content like survival kits. I'm also going to do one on Venus retrograding. That's coming up. And there's much more. So go ahead and join the Astro Fam, and we could be a part of this together, okay? So that's the news that we have. Also, if you're like, okay, I don't want to pay anything, you want some free stuff, I have some free stuff down below. Go ahead and check that out. And I have a free tarot reading for you down below. And also, if you want to learn how to read tarot free, that is down. Hey, your son is rotting away at work. I am posting this. If you did not know, they can see your comment. Your son wants to know if he will be getting pasta for dinner. This is clearly my son. Hey, my son wants to know if Capricorn season will end up in financial success. Hey, well, hello, Cash, who should be at work working right now. I don't know what you're doing watching this, but anyway, so that is what we have. That is so funny. I am so tickled by that, you guys. He is a Leo moon. So to me, he is really funny and annoying. A lot of drama, very dramatic, okay? So let me actually pull up the date for February. I am so stuffed. I just ate my breakfast, which is 11:47. I usually eat it at 12, and I just ate it, and I am completely full. Okay, here. So here are the dates for February. No worries. Okay, February is a very short month. I feel like I really should be doing this in an astrological way. Like I should be doing the transits per season, like Capricorn season. I might adjust that. Okay. Anyway, February 1st, we have Venus conjunct Neptune. and it's conjunct the north nodes. Also on the 3rd, Mercury is going to trine Jupiter. On the 6th, the north node is going to conjunct Neptune. February 9th, Mercury is going to conjunct the sun. Mars, which is retrograding, is going to trine Saturn. On the 10th of February, Mercury is going to square Uranus. On the 11th, the sun is going to square Uranus. On the 20th, Mercury squares Jupiter. And then 23rd, Mercury is going to trine Mars. And then on the 25th, Mercury is conjunct Saturn. Okay. I'm going to do a deeper video just on Mercury alone. Don't worry, because it will be retrograding. Here are the lunations of the month of February. February 12th, we have a full moon in Leo. February 27th, we have a new moon in Pisces. On the 4th of February, Jupiter will station direct. It will not be retrograding. Yay! And on the 23rd, Mars is going to station direct in Cancer. So that means it will stop retrograding. If you didn't know, Mars is the reason why California had all those fires. Now, February 28th, Mercury is going to enter a pre-shadow phase of retrograding. So when you get out of one retrograde, here comes another. There is a few days where none of the planets are retrograding, so I'll try to point that out if I remember. But that will be this month. February 3rd, Venus enters Aries. This is the ingress, and also another 2 ingresses are February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. It's very fitting. Mercury is going to enter Pisces, so a lot of communications of love. And on the 18th, the sun will enter Pisces. So that is what we have for the month. I'm going to break it down. I'm actually going to bring up my screen here, and let's see. Where is, hold up 1 second. Let me pull up my chart here. I don't know why I can't see it. Here we go. There we go. Oh, no, wrong one. Okay, so here is our chart. And for you guys who are listening via podcast, don't worry, I will break all of this down for you. Okay, so we're going to go currently now, we're going to start February 1st. And we have, why do I have February 11th here? When did the dates moved? Actually, let me see. Just organizing my notes, which should have been organized before. Anyway, so we're going to start February 1st. So February 1st, we have Venus here, and you see we have a stallion on the 1st of a lot of Pisces energy, and a stallion, meaning there's more than 2 planets in the sign, in a zodiac sign, in Aquarius. Okay, so a lot of communication, a lot of social media energy, and a lot of addictive behavior happening here. Okay, and a lot of endings and closing up of some sort. But we have Venus, that's what we're here to talk about, and it's going to conjunct Neptune on the 1st of February. This is the planet, these 2 planets represent love and a very feminine energy. Mostly this conjunction is going to affect mostly the mutable signs. So we're talking about our Pisces, our Virgos, our Geminis. Neptune amplifies fantasy. Okay. Again, a lot of love, a lot of fantasy of love, imagination of love. Valentine's Day, it comes a little early with this aspect. Okay. There's compassion, sweetness, enduring love, friendships. People may be feeling a little vulnerable. They might be idolizing love and looking at it as a rose-colored lens, like the love is not really what it seems. Also, there's codependency in energy. Now, this aspect, if you didn't know, conjunctions are good or bad, or they could be both, and they are really strong. So it's up to you if you want the conjunction to be bad. It's up to you if you want it to be good. So you could be out of sweetness and compassion and love and charity, or you could be codependent and addictive and idolizing someone or being lost in a sauce. This also could represent confusion, disappointment. There could be, at one point, there could be a major creative breakthrough and inspiration and emotional healing and forgiveness and letting go of the past, because Pisces represents endings, and a lot of charity, right? So acts of kindness, escapism, and illusion also plays a big part of this too, because we are talking about addiction. Now, spirituality is a strong aspect of Pisces. Now, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. It's the modern ruler of Pisces. And that means that if Neptune's in the sign of Pisces, it's super strong. Now, Venus loves being in the sign of Pisces, and Venus is in a pre-shadow phase. It started being in a pre-shadow phase of retrograding actually on the 28th of January, which I've discussed, I think, in the last video, which I put up. But actually, let me put up the Venus retrograde energy so you can understand. Okay, the pre-shadow phase started January 20th. I have a whole video on this, but go ahead and check that out. And then February 4th, Venus enters Aries. Okay, it's not fully retrograding, but there is some stickiness. There's some like, what is going on? Why am I not attracting the men that I normally attract? Okay, you know that Venus naturally attracts things. Also too, men, this affects you. Okay, so how you dress, the art, maybe the woman you're into, you're like, she's not that attractive. That is that Venus retrograding, right? Now, March 1st is when it will retrograde, and it will be in the sign Aries. It will be at 10 degrees. That's in the video, what that means. March 15th, Mercury is going to retrograde. So we got two planets retrograding, and they're sitting kind of close because Mercury is retrograding in the sign Aries. On the 22nd, they're going to, Venus will be conjunct the sun in Aries. So there is some awareness of some sort. I think, well, this is more of an in conjunction, an invert kind of thing. So it really means that when this planet is conjunct, that there's more internal reflection of love or imbalancing. On the 25th, Venus will be at 0 degrees, retrograding in the sign Aries. This is very potent. This is very strong. Something will happen. Okay, we will see what happened. Mark that date. And on the 27th, it enters Pisces retrograding. Something big will happen that time too, because it's 29 degrees. So those 2 dates are really big. April 12th, it goes direct at 24 degrees in Pisces. And then May 15th is when it all ends. Okay, so that is the Venus retrograding in a nutshell, but I have a very detailed video of what that looks like, the predictions, if it's going to affect you, and I also discuss horoscopes. But back to this right now, what we have February 1st. So Venus is in a pre-shadow phase of retrograding in the sign of Pisces, right? So it's already a little bit, because nothing really just hits direct. It always eases. So we're already feeling some of this connection. You could be very spiritual, or maybe have a spiritual connection, maybe a deep connection in a relationship or a friendship. There's heightened sensitivity because Pisces is very sensitive. Anything dealing with healing across like meditation, Reiki, yoga, anything dealing with the mystical side, all that is going to be affected with this conjunction with you February 1st. And it may not be the day of, it could be the next day or a few days before, because it kind of eases into that. Global predictions with this, you can have deceptions and scandals. Maybe there is a huge musical or a film or art exhibit or something that's happening around the world, dealing with creativity, because Pisces represents that. In the sign Venus, right, represents that as well. There could be a focus on anything dealing with charity. So humanitarian efforts are caring and very compassionate for someone who is lacking around the world. Okay. Poverty, homelessness also represents Pisces too. So be aware of that. Water, big bodies of water. Okay. That could be happening as well when you have that conjunction. Also, we have the Venus is going to conjunct. Let me pull up. My Venus is also going to conjunct this North Node in Pisces. I have a whole video on this again on my playlist. So go ahead and see what that means, especially if you want to know the horoscopes. Mostly, again, who's affected by this are my mutable signs. So my Pisces, my Virgos, my Geminis, you guys are feeling this. Now, Taurus and Libras, you guys could be feeling this too, because your ruler is Venus. So whatever Venus is doing around the sky is going to affect you. Okay. Now, back to what I'm going to say with this conjunction. Now, it's also conjunct Neptune. Neptune is still close. And I just explained what that meant. You could be lost in a sauce, or you could be deeply in love, or very creative, right? Now you're dealing with the North Node. The North Node is actually opposing the South Node. So this is our North Node. The North Node means your karma, what you're meant to do in this lifetime. And the South Node is what you're supposed to be releasing and letting go. Now, what you're supposed to do in this lifetime is more Pisces energy within this year. And what you're supposed to be releasing is more Virgo energy. And the Virgo energy is really about being perfect and paying attention to every detail and being so analytical. Where Pisces energy is like, oh, what is the energy? What are we feeling? What is the vibe? Okay. So that's more Pisces. And so there's karmic release when you have this, or karmic relationships. You could be meeting someone who you're destined to meet to help you in your lifetime. There's harmony, there's soulful creativity, a lot of feminine energy with the aura. Ooh, the aura of spirituality and healing. Pisces energy is a planet of healing. There's a divine connection, a lot of intuitive energy, helping others. also could be helping you with your life path, what you have going on for your future. Maybe there's a charity coming your way and you're like, gosh, this is going to help me in my future. You probably don't even know it, but it could. It's going to be strong. Okay. Solidarity with another person. There's grace, because Venus represents grace. Pisces is the sign of unconditional love. So when you have unconditional love, there's vulnerability, there's emotional healing, and Venus represents what you value, and the values of what you value could be aligned with someone else's, and this could be destiny, okay, of some sort, or maybe like a project or an adventure of some sort, and it could be destiny, okay, a shift of priorities to focus on what truly matters, encountering people who help you with your emotional or spiritual growth, relationships that no longer align, they're too perfect. They only care about health. That's very Virgo. But they only care about the perfection, very critical energy, and you're releasing that. That doesn't serve you. This is all about the spiritual alignment. Okay. So now let's talk about February 3rd, what we have on that day. And on February 3rd, we have Mercury. This is positive, right? Mercury is trining Jupiter at 11 degrees. 11 degrees is an Aquarius degree. An Aquarius degree is all about communication. And what do we have here? Mercury is all about communication. If you don't know, Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, anything dealing with words. Okay. It's also the planet of travel. It's also the planet of your community. And when it's this is the smaller mama, these things are actually in the complete opposite. They're on the same axis, these two planets, so they share a lot of things. So this is the planet that writes the book, this is the planet that published the book, and now they are in love. Trine is amazing energy. It basically means that you don't have to do any work. God decided today to bless you. Okay, so February 3rd, check out this mental strength that all of us will have as a collective. Who will be feeling this the most though? It will be my air sign. So all my Aquarius, my Geminis, my Libras, you guys will be feeling this the most. If you have placements in that, it doesn't have to be your sun sign, you guys will be feeling this the most. So my son who is watching, your Aquarius rising, this might work out for you. You might be very intelligent or pick up a book and you're like, oh my gosh, this book that just landed on my lap is the best news I've ever heard or read or whatever. Anyway, so what does this aspect mean? It means great news. It's all of a sudden there's clarity, something is making sense. You have a desire to learn something. You want to exchange ideas. You want to collaborate with others. You want to explore a new perspective. Communication is very clear. You're able to articulate your words. You're actually lucky in words because that Jupiter energy is luck and expansion. So you're having the longest conversation. There's expansive communication. At the same time, there's a blessing here. There's clarity. There's new ideas. There's deep and meaningful conversations. This also could be a debate, and you can learn something because you're changing your perspective with a debate. Visionary discussions that challenge your outdated thinking. Okay, rethinking the past because we do have Jupiter retrograding, so there is something repeating. There's intellectual curiosity because Gemini is involved. Aquarius is very curious too. Interest in networking, collaborating, brainstorming with others. Social media is huge with this aspect. So something big with social media could be happening. Is this about the news with TikTok? I don't know. TikTok has a lot of Virgo energy. So I don't have the birth time of TikTok. I tried to look at their chart. But this is also could be news about science, any type of social media, any type of technology, but it's going to be positive. Okay. Also, this could represent policies with education, or maybe it's revisiting some misinformation, or maybe a media platform or something in the media or a broadcaster will be more accountable. Okay, again, it affects the air signs and it's very positive. Now also to this same day we have Venus. You see it's at 29 degrees. That's a very potent degree. So there's going to be some closing out with this energy that I was just explaining. But when it hits 29 degrees, it's very potent, meaning like hurry up, there's a crisis, we have to hurry up and finish our job because this is about to end. Venus is about to enter the sign Aries. And when it enters the sign Aries, first of all, this is going to affect all my air signs, not all my air signs, sorry, all of my can't think of it, cardinal signs. Okay, so you're talking about my Aries. This is also going to affect the Libras and the Taurus because this is your rising sign. But all of my Aries, why can't I think of the cardinal signs? Actually, it's here. All of my Aries, all of my Cancers, all of my Capricorns, this is going to, and my Libras, this is going to affect you. Okay. Now Aries is entering, Venus is entering Aries, and this is a fire sign. Okay. I showed the date. Oh, okay. I'm looking at my notes here. In my video, when I discussed Venus retrograding, okay, all this stuff here, I thought I had the dates wrong, and I didn't have the dates wrong. Okay. I had some mistake. I was like, I was like in Lulu La La Land, okay? When I was filming that, I did not eat. I was actually extremely hungry, and that's why I said, "Oh, I'm going to stuff myself for this video. Be nice and full." Now I think I overate. Anyway, but Aries is a fire energy, okay? So you're talking about the planet Venus, and Venus is all about parties and socializing, and you have it with the fire element. So it's like you're going to a bonfire, like that kind of party, okay? But Aries also represents new beginnings. So there's something beautiful, new starting, or it's like a really bold woman who's like, I am a daredevil, but I am very attractive. It's like that kind of energy, daredevils, love affairs. Also, because Venus and Aries, Venus does not like to be in Aries. Okay. Aries is very aggressive. Aries is very fast. And Venus is like, let's take our time. Let's enjoy the room. Let's bask in this beauty and this, opulence and the sensation of things. The Aries is like, I don't got time for this. Okay. We're going to quickly come in the room. Oh, it smells good. Oh, let me just spray myself. Let me eat the food. Okay. Deuces, I got to go. It's like, oh my gosh. So it's like quick love affairs. Okay. But it does represent the tough girl, the tough feminine energy, bold and passionate relationships, fearless and passionate expression of love, fall quickly in love and fall quickly out of love. Okay. A very impulsive energy of the heart. So it's like all of a sudden, I want to tell you I love you, and I just met you yesterday. Or let's get married, and I just met you 24 hours ago. That is that Venus and Aries, okay? But it does amplify a lot of confidence, a lot of self-love, because it is about the self. That is a very positive thing about Venus and Aries. There is a focus of independence and treating yourself kind of attitude, and increased confidence of self-expression. Impulsive spending could happen because you are impulsive with the Aries, and Venus represents how you're spending your money. How do you want to enjoy yourself? And you could be impatient when it comes to thinking about, should you buy this expensive couch? Okay. It's very impatient also with relationships. There could be heated arguments and understandings, especially if a partner is trying to assert themselves. Okay. Globally, Venus entering Aries, which is going to retrograde. So be aware that it's going to be more of the negative, but it could be fast paced kind of financial decisions. There's more focus on the individual. There's more focus on the strong woman and fight for yourself. You don't need no man kind of energy. Focus on freedom as well. Very into gender equality. So let's see how this plays out. In my Venus retrograde video, I discussed that when Venus was retrograding in Aries last time, when it went to Aries and Pisces, Trump won presidency, which was 2017. Is that a coincidence? No. So we'll see. We had the Me Too movement. Let's see if we have another movement, something like that. Okay. But yeah, there also could be some creative kind of energies emerging, because when there's retrogrades, it does make things kind of go on top. It's not just all negative. There's a lot of internal energy, and people start to wake up with that energy. Okay. So now on the 4th, we also have Jupiter. Okay. This is still retrograding, but we have Jupiter station retrograde. So things start to move forward here. Jupiter is no longer retrograde. And if you don't know, if you're new to looking at this, whenever the planets are red, they're retrograding. So we got one little last one left, which is almost going to be out of it. But Jupiter stations direct in Gemini, and Jupiter is the planet of, if it touches anything, it expands it. It also is the planet of luck. Okay. It's the great benefic planet. So it begins to move forward again. And Jupiter also amplifies that mental activity when you have an assigned Gemini, and you're talking about communications, you're talking about being adaptable, you're talking about bringing opportunities for growth and learning. A lot of social media, a lot of socializing, a lot of networking, a lot of problem solving. Okay. The gossip, that should slow down. You getting overstimulated by too much information. They say this over here, they say that over there. The Bloods are saying this, the Crips are saying that. And I'm talking about politics when I say that. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of information. Did Elon do the Hitler thing? What did the tweet say? Oh no, but this tweet actually says this. A lot of information and a lot of crazy debates. that is should calm down. Also, if you're overwhelmed by group text messages, okay, that is because Jupiter is in that sign Gemini. It's giving us a lot of communications with friends and a lot of debates happening. That is Jupiter in Gemini, just so you know. But now it starts to lift and we get a little bit more clarity. We're more expanding of our mental capabilities and the things we learn. A lot of improving with communication, building relationships, building a collaboration, expanding your influence through effective communication. Okay. And plans can move forward and you can have more clarity and momentum with that. So if you are a newscaster or if you're a podcaster, this is very positive for you because now the energy is working in your favor and there's luck. Now, at first, there wasn't that much luck. Jupiter is so positive, though, that it's always kind of lucky. But the expansion part, sometimes you overdo too much stuff and no one wants that. But there's also Gemini is all about adaptability because it's a mutable sign, but it loves to, the color rainbow. So it loves all the flavors. It loves all the things. Whenever it's Gemini season, you have LBGT energy. And so that is because there's a rainbow there and that is Gemini energy. Anyway, so you have the opportunity through adaptability, especially with Jupiter. Now, global predictions, we have advanced communications and media, educational reform could be improving, emerging leaders, them focusing on some kind of communication, social media. We're talking about Trump, I would think. Trump has also, this is why Trump won presidency. He was born in the daytime. And so when you're born in the daytime, Jupiter is your planet. It is like, oh my gosh, it works for you. Well, Jupiter is sitting on top of his sun. If you didn't know, Trump is a Gemini sun. He also has Uranus conjunct his sun. And so that means communication across the board. In the sign Gemini, all that was very lucky for him and it works for him. That's why social media really worked for him when he was running for president. But let's see, he's going to start getting momentum, and then this planet is going to start leaving his sun and enter some other planets. We'll get into that another date. But yes, anyway, because he also has stuff in the 12th house. This is an 11th house, so it gets better for him, but we may not see the things behind closed doors, and that will make sense because he's going to be president. But that's when it enters Cancer, and then the next year, which is 2026, it will be in his first house. That'll be a little different. We'll see how that goes for him. Anyway, but let's talk about February 6th. February 6th, we have the North Node. Now it's conjunct Neptune. Okay. So everything that I talked about earlier with Venus, now the party's not really involved. Now it's more about real healing. Venus does add, it does add a little more fun. It adds more grace to the party. It adds more harmony. But now the harmony is still a little close, but now the party is more about, let's be serious about some karmic healing. Let's really use your intuition. Maybe your intuition is really heightened and your psychic abilities are really working for you. There's spiritual energy, there's spiritual growth, but all in the alignment of what you're supposed to do in this lifetime, right? Pisces is a sign of unity. It's a sign of oneness. So Pisces never has any borders. It never has any boundaries. Okay. So Pisces is limitless without any borders. It feels like, oh, okay, I should go over here. I should help you. We are all one. And now it's helping your future. Okay. So endless amount of love. You could be struggling with lack of clarity as far as your goals because it's so unclear. There is fogginess here. Charitable causes is an act of kindness and it could be helping any type of charity. Okay. Go for it. But there could be a need for clarity with this aspect here. Okay. Yeah. What else do we have here? Yeah. Okay. Just know that there could be some confusion and there could be some loss in the sauce for your future. But on a positive side, just let it go. Go off of your feelings and the intuition and what you feel, more off of what you see, because it's always an illusion, but the feeling and your intuition is never an illusion. Okay. Now, February 9th, we have Mercury. Is a Cazimi with the sun. Cazimi means that it's sitting in the heart of the sun. Any planets could be in a Cazimi, right? Now, this is all about in the sign Aquarius, right? When you have it in Aquarius, this is all about the future. So there could be future announcements. The sun is going to highlight some breakthrough ideas. The sun puts a spotlight on Mercury. So anything dealing with Mercury, so like traveling, your day-to-day travel, your community, any type of social platform or anyone who is in charge of speaking, again, like the podcasters and the YouTubers or the news people, they're going to be on stage and the sun is going to highlight this. This is also social media. So Elon Musk has a Mars in Aquarius. There could be something shining on him. Chris Tucker, the guy Rogan, Joe Rogan, any of your big, I don't, Mr. Beast, I don't know the like trendy podcasters, but there could be a highlight there happening. Also, this is a focus on technology. This could be challenging anything that's outdated, because now we need room for the future and something new. Yeah, the individual energy is on blast when you have Mercury and the Sun conjunct in the sign Aquarius, because Aquarius sure is about the collective, but it needs its freedom. It needs to be free from whatever the group, it likes the group, but it doesn't like to be held back. Okay. Desire to express your personal truth. Aquarius is known for its originality and forward thinking. So that could be a really big thing. A lot of clarity and communication. You could be overthinking. You could be mentally stimulated. You could be overflowed with ideas. Aquarius is also a fixed sign. So there is this new energy and this idea of being very logical and being very intellectual. Since you think, or you, well, it's not even think, feel. I was about to say feel, but it's because you think and you hear one things. Aquarius is usually fixated, meaning it's very stubborn and it's fixated energy, because it's only going off of like, nah, it makes logical sense that this is this. And the Pisces energy is like, no, but the vibe and the energy says this. No. And of course, it's like, no, I know what I say. I know what I'm thinking. This is the right way. So be aware of that. But this could be some technical advancements. Focus on humanitarian issues, because Aquarius is about the group. It's about the people. It's about fighting for the cause. This also could be an announcement of a rebellion of some sort, because you are dealing with rebellious energy. That could be happening. But there could be some new platform or a new social media energy. Maybe this is the day that Trump says that someone else bought TikTok, because I know that I think, because I was listening to a podcast with the TikTok, he's saying that someone has America has to own part of it. So that could be happening. 21 degrees, I can tell you, 24, 23, 2, 1, 9. Oh, something will be published. This is the ninth house. 21 degrees is representing Sagittarius, so that's something that's very expansive, something that's very worldly, something that affects. It could be something that's published again, so something that could be started or released. Yeah. I was trying to think something that could also be a philosophy of some sort or religious. Higher learning also involves with this too. Okay. Now the same day, very interesting day, right? We also have Mars still retrograding. It's conjunct that Sun. There's some emotions there. But also the best part is that it's trine Saturn. So when you have this Cancer moon, oh my gosh, you have this sensitivity. Everyone's so serious about their home and feeling it. This is mostly going to affect my water signs in a good way, right? So you're talking about the Cancers, you're talking about the Pisces, and you're talking about the Scorpios, right? You guys are going to be feeling this, but this could be is very positive. Okay, there's nothing negative about this, and again, it just lands on your lap. But this is also about long-term energy. It's very serious. Saturn is very serious. So safety for the long term, because this is about safety and it's long-term energy. There's structures provided in a foundation, but yet it's using your intuitive energy for something long-term or your goals. Saturn represents the goals. Saturn represents discipline, and now Mars is our drive and our effort. So there's effort and discipline happening, trying to pursue something. Now there's emotional resilience here, also grounded action, and rethinking your priorities, building emotional boundaries. Here we have the planet that's about boundaries. You can't see it, but you can feel it. So that is emotional boundaries, right? And also protecting your energy for the long term. Handling emotional challenges with maturity. That is the maturity planet. Reevaluating your goals and plans. Healing emotional wounds. I think I said that. Steady progress with emotional intelligence. Okay. Globally, you can have an emotional resilient leader. You can be focused on family and the home. Let's see what happens with the fires in LA. LA does have an MC in Cancer. I forgot the degree. I should know that because I'm from LA. So this could be affecting them, especially with that moon in Cancer. Yeah, but this could be reassessing what you feel safe, something from your past, something from your ancestry, and you trying to achieve that. But now there is reality added to it, and it's here to help, and it's focused on the details. Okay. Now February 10th, We have Mercury in the sign Aquarius, and now it's squaring Uranus. Uranus is not retrograding. And when it's squaring Uranus, now it's like, oh my gosh, something unexpected or something really fast or something that's like so impulsive is happening. Whenever you have Uranus involved, Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. Mercury, thinking, speaking, and these two planets and are not getting along. This is erratic behavior, okay? There is a sudden shift in thought or communication. Someone all of a sudden just changed their mind. Also, you're talking about this is in a planet, this is in a sign of Taurus. So this is something with stocks. I would not invest in anything that day. But there could be tensions in communications, mental tension, unpredictability, abrupt conversation, misunderstanding, feeling mentally restless. Okay, a strong desire to challenge traditions because Aquarius again does not like the traditions. There's frustration, there's rigid thinking because I told you Aquarius is very fixated on one thing. Talking too fast. I talk too fast. That's a Gemini in me, but I'm talking too fast. But now the information is moving too fast. Intellectual rebellion. This does represent rebellion. Be aware of that. The sun is still sitting close, so something is still shining a big picture on that. So that could be happening. I thought I heard something. I always think I hear something when my son's not here. Always. But what else do we have? Actually, let me play. Let me check, okay? You guys show some love. So while I was being scary, I hope you guys thumbs up this video and like what you hear so far. But on this day, February 10th, we also have anything that could be erratic, a very intellectual rebellion, social media rebellion, people protesting online that could easily happen with this aspect. Financial and technical difficulties, disruptions. Remember, Taurus is involved with this. Taurus is all about the stocks, the bonds. Taurus is the bull, right? And what's in front of the stock market, that bull, it represents that, okay? Difficulty focusing due to overstimulated energy. I can't handle being overstimulated, you guys. It just drives me insane. But that could be a possibility for people who can handle that. Constant is disruptions, people being irritable and impatient because they're so erratic. Okay. Anything technology wise or social media globally could be affected with this aspect. Remember, financial market could be very volatile this time. Protests and social movements is a possibility. And unpredicted weather also could be a big one with this. Okay. You're talking about winds here too. Unpredictable. This is unpredictable weather all the time. Okay. Now on February 11th, I know we have unpredictable weather anyway, which I am going to do. You know what? I'm going to do a whole video on that just alone, okay, and break it down astrologically and see what we have for the future with that. Now, on February 11th, we have the sun now, which was sitting close to that Mercury. Now it also has a problem with Uranus. So again, now there is a sun challenging this unpredictable energy, this erratic energy, and the collective or group could be creating some challenge online, okay? Unexpected events, desire for independence, unpredictable behavior. The sun represents your ego. It's the bigger Mars. It represents your drive. It represents the father figures, the leaders. And now they're just saying some crazy stuff online. So be aware of Trump. That could possibly happening. There could be some financial upset, some stubbornness. We are talking about this bull, and we are talking about fixed energy. Whenever we have a square that is fixed, in the fixed signs, that means that something wants to change and no one wants it to change. Okay. There could be a rebel against the society norms or expectations. This is happening at 23 degrees. 20 degrees does represent Aquarius energy. So this could be something that's dealing with social media, something that's dealing with the future, technology, science, something that's dealing with your hopes and dreams. Yeah, that are a big group. AKA the government. It also represents House of Representatives. So just so you know. Now, on February 12th, we have the full moon. I'm going to break this down even more detailed on when we get closer, but we have the full moon in Leo. When a full moon in Leo, it means that it's in oppositions. So whenever we have a full moon, it's like the sun and the moon can't see eye to eye. And when they can't see eye to eye, they're in opposite polarizing energy. It's like the women versus the men. Here's the men, here are the women, the father versus the mom. You have that. Also, what we have with this is that Mercury is involved here. So Mercury is conjunct the sun. So there's something dealing with news and communication or your day-to-day travel that's going to be emotionally affected with this. And also, it's, remember, it's still squaring at Uranus. So something unexpected or something with social media. Okay, who is this going to affect the most? Because that's what I would be like. No, 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 let me know. It's going to affect mostly my fixed signs. Let me see. Oh, look, I have some I have in my notes, which I've never done. I've just my first time doing this. Okay, so if you're a fire sign, okay, it's a powerful time to express yourself. Fire signs, this is going to really affect all your emotions, right? Of course, because we're dealing with the moon, but how you communicate and how you intensely, your intense energy can suddenly change, and there could be a sudden realization. And but there's high emotions involved with this. Okay, Leo is a very fiery, emotional, confrontational kind of energy, so be aware of that. Now, if we're talking about our air signs and we're talking about our Geminis, and before our fire signs, if you didn't know, that's Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Now we're talking about our air signs. How is this full moon going to affect you? That's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This could be something of a collaboration of some sort, and there's an argument. There's someone who wants to be on stage, and you're like, why do you want to be on stage? Okay, just be aware of that. Now, earth signs, that's my Taurus, my Virgos, and my Capricorns. This is all about practicality and creativity, because we have the creativity here. It's really a big time to reflect on your personal needs, because that's what this is about, the I versus the group and the collective. Now, all of my water signs, Cancer, Scorpios, and Pisces, there's some emotional clarity happening here. Maybe there's some healing that could be a possibility, but heightened emotions about yourself, about your family, about your children, about you and your self-expression. Okay, so yeah, major key things on, now this is for everyone as a collective. Anytime we have a Leo moon, it's all about your authentic self-expression, being emotional in a vulnerable way. It's like it's on stage. There's emotional outbursts, arguments, and conflicts. Balancing the ego versus being humble, because we, this energy doesn't like to be humble. There could be creativity and romance involved in this, and something with your children. And there's a woman of some sort, because the moon does represent the woman or your mom or your grandma or something from your past involved here. Okay, Leo does represent leadership, and I do know that Trump is a Leo rising. I don't think he's in a late degree Leo rising. I will have to see. But this could be affecting some leaders of some sort, or if you're a leader of some sort, it could be happening. Now, because we have this full moon conjunct as Mercury, there's key themes of talking too much, detached emotion, and the self versus the collective. And then because we have the full moon squaring Uranus, there could be emotional surprises happening in the themes of your ego. Or maybe this is something dealing with celebrities, because this is also dealing with celebrities, but there's restlessness, impatient, sudden reactions, very manic mood swings. Okay. Yeah, that is what we have for the full moon in Leo. And now let's go into something a little bit more positive. Okay. That full moon may be a doozy for the collective. We'll see how this goes. Now let's go into the 14th. And while I'm doing this, I am going to turn my heater off and take a sip of water. And you guys, please listen to my sponsor. Hello there, my beautiful souls. I am Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Are you ready to take your spiritual journey to the next level? Introducing Danyell's Astro Tarot Elite Club, your exclusive getaway to daily insights, cosmic guidance, and so much more for just $4.99 a month. As a member, you'll receive daily readings designed to align your day with the universe's energy. Start each day with clarity and confidence. Do you need a personal reading, or do you want to have your astrology chart read fully? With being a member, you also can enjoy exclusive discounts on all my offerings, just for our elite members only. All for Okay, hello, I am back. What is this? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know which comment. There was a new comment, but it's all I think it's this one here. Did not mean what he said. He did not mean what he said. Who did not mean what he said? I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Who Leos? I don't know. You got to be more detailed on that. Anyway, maybe I'm late in saying that. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay. So February 14th, we have Mercury entering Pisces. And I was just reading the comments for you guys who are listening to the podcast. Someone wrote, he did not mean what he said. Okay. Mercury is entering Pisces. Mercury has entered the building, you guys. Okay. Mercury entering Pisces. We have, I have Mercury dates. I'm like, what is this covering? Let me show you Mercury retrograding, okay? Here is Mercury retrograding. February 28th, Mercury enters Pisces. It's going to enter that, well, it doesn't enter Pisces. It's when it enters the pre-shadow phase, okay? Mercury enters Pisces on the 14th. On March 3rd, Mercury will enter Aries. And then on the 14th, it's going to retrograde in Aries. And then on the 11th, it's going to conjunct Venus, which is retrograding in Aries. That's going to be conjunct. That's going to be a very interesting date. Write that down, okay? On March 30th, Mercury will re-enter Pisces and it will be retrograding. On April 7th, Mercury will return direct. And on April 25th, we have it post-shadow phase. That's when it really, really ends, okay? So that is what we have for Mercury. Let me see what else we have. Oh, those are the dates. Mercury doesn't like to be in a sign Pisces because Pisces doesn't have the words. Pisces is all about the emotions and the feeling and the vibe. And Mercury only wants to communicate. It wants to break it down. It wants to analyze. And Pisces is lost in the sauce. Okay. So a lot of empathizing, like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. It's all about the feeling. And, but the intuition is really high. Anything you can guess is like, what color is behind this door? Or which cup do you pick? That Mercury and Pisces might get it right. Okay. So maybe you want to go gamble. I'm not, don't say I'm just telling you what it can represent. Okay. But it is a lot of telepathic kind of energy. You could be sensitive, flooded with fantasies, easily influenced. There's dishonesty, there's secrets, there's deception, major heightened intuition, though. A lot of imagination, a lot of creativity, a lot of compassion, lack of clarity. Be aware of that because that is what that Pisces represents. Okay. This is a day of Valentine's Day. So this is the day to be in love. And Pisces loves love. Okay. Pisces is like, I am in love. And you know what? I don't care if he's missing a tooth. I don't care if he's a loser and doesn't have a car or doesn't have a job or has 10 baby mamas. I don't care. I'm in love. Okay. That's a Mercury. I only hear the positive love rose colored lens energy. Okay. Now, what else enters the building of love? Then on the 18th, we have the sun entering Pisces. Now everyone's in love. Okay. You get love. You get love. Anyway, but this is also great compassion and a lot of empathy. There's dreamy, emotional, and spirituality, and it's all attuned together. Now, this is the last zodiac sign, right? Of the zodiac. So that means there's a lot of endings here, a lot of closing, and hurry up because this is a time to reflect. This is a time to heal and close it up before we get into the beginning, which if you really know, the spring equinox is really the first time of the year. It's the new year. It's the new beginning. It's spring, right? Anyway, but connection to the higher truths. There's a lot of compassion, a lot of charity, a lot of creativity, a lot of using your intuition. There is this Delulu energy, though. You could be thinking that the wine is the Holy Spirit kind of energy because there's addictive energy. There's you're unstable. There's escapism. But again, a lot of sharing and compassion and releasing and forgiving. Selfless. You sacrifice a lot with this, but you could be manipulated. It does represent the chameleon. I have Neptune in that first house, and every day I change, okay? Far as like the looks. But a lot of creativity, a lot of imagination, a spiritual awakening, and struggling to stay grounded or focus on practical tasks. And you could be overcommitting emotional energy and taking on others' burdens. You know how they be like, oh, don't be putting that trauma on me. Don't be they say something. Don't be trauma venting. I whatever, you get the gist. Okay, do not put all your trauma on me when you're talking. I don't need to hear. It's like you meet someone on the streets and they're like, yeah, I just got divorced, I'm grieving. It's like, I just asked you, I didn't ask you anything. I just said hello. That is kind of energy during Pisces season. Be aware of that, okay? But it's still very loving and very compassionate. Globally, a lot of humanitarian energy, a lot of focusing on the people who are lacking, a lot of creativity, yeah, awareness, a lot of water energy. So floods, all that stuff is a possibility. A lot of rain could be happening. Potential for confusion, especially in leadership, because the sun represents the leader, okay? Just remember, whenever you have Pisces energy, you got to set some boundaries. It's a time of releasing, reflecting, grounding yourself, and being creative. Okay. Now, on February 20th, we have Mercury in the sign Pisces, and it is squaring Jupiter. Okay. This doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. If you didn't know, squares are usually challenges and tensions, but it could be. Okay. Because anytime you have a square dealing with Jupiter, it could be abundant, it could be lucky. You could have that. Okay. But it could be deception. It could be secrets, deceptions in the news, deception in the words, or in an email, secrets being said in a huge way. Let me see. Your intuition could be moving fast. That could be happening. Let's see what else. You could be very curious. There's some details. However, it's lost in the sauce. Maybe your imagination is overreactive, a lot of miscommunications, a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of overly abstract and scattered energy or thinking or words, difficulty explaining yourself clearly, conflicts between facts and what is your intuition, what are the details, all that could be happening. Okay. Jupiter, again, is very expansive. So whenever it touches any of these planets, it expands it. So now it's touching Mercury and Pisces, again, is in love, it's in delusions, there's a fog. So escapism, okay, overindulgence, or always in the fantasy and in the dream of your head and not really thinking about the realistic of things. Okay. So globally, you can have some confusions in the media, misinformation in the media, a lot of debates on what is lacking or what needs to be giving charity of some sort. Yeah, or there could be a focus on education and how you're learning, and we feel compassion towards that. Okay. Now, on February 23rd, now we have great news, you guys. Okay. All of the planets are direct. Do not look at the north and south node, okay, because they're always retrograding. But all of the planets are direct. This is February 3rd. If you got to get it done on the 23rd, because everything's working how it should. You can drive the way you can. You can drive the way you can. You can drive normally, like how you normally feel like you're driving, and the way other people are driving. They're not out there acting crazy in the streets, okay? People are not really aggressive. Creativity is working really well. The way you're able to think and communicate, your drive, you're trying to pursue things, and leadership, and your ego, all that is very balanced. Your intuition, all that works, and setting some limits. I mean, it's still in the sign of Pisces, so there's delusions there, or there's, it's a little fogginess there. However, you're able to make your dreams a reality. Okay. Now all that is very clear. So Mars being direct, again, Mars is that planet that is representing those fires, okay, that everyone's starting around the world. Is crazy. More America anyway. But there's momentum with home and domestic and being safe, and your security, something with moving forward. If you're looking in the past and you're doing some research of the past, all that is working really great. You're able to express your anger and your frustration in a more healthier way. Your emotional triggers, you can recognize them. Okay. You're defending loved ones and standing up for your personal values, also when Mars is not retrograding. And yeah, healing and redoing all that. Hopefully you learned your lesson and now it works. Okay. If you want to buy something for your home, if you want to decorate and you're having frustrations with your decoration and your house is a mess, you're going to have more drive in cleaning your home and organizing your home. Okay. And clearing up things. And let's see let's see what happens with LA far as like the fires. Maybe they'll be able to see their homes, because people haven't even been allowed to even go visit their neighborhoods. It's still restricted and there's still fires happening. And I think when this gets direct, then the fires will be, not the end permanently, but a little bit back. I can't even say normal, but you get what I'm saying. I think that there will be no fires. You'll be able to see clearly. You can, I mean, it's still Pisces energy, but it's getting better. Okay. Yeah, but globally, when Mars goes direct in Cancer, you'll be able to focus on the policies, the homeland policies, emotional reactions towards global events could be happening, but will be a little bit more realistic. And yeah, let's see what else we have. On the same day, Mercury is going to trine Uranus. This is actually this day. In Taurus tonight, Mercury will be stop retrograding at 17 degrees. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's a Leo degree. There's something on stage here. There's something very creative. Oh, something really creative. Now, this is all my water signs. So this is going to affect my Scorpios too. So my Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer in a positive way. This is very positive. Yeah, it's okay. Let me see what I have here. Creativity, emotional communication. I'm trying to think of things on my own. A lot of spirituality, a lot of empathy, a lot of intuition, a lot of love, okay? A lot of emotional maturity, okay? A lot of healing psychologically is happening here in a very positive. You can communicate that, and you're driven to communicate things that you're pursuing when it comes to your safety and your mom, or when it comes to your family. Yeah, very empathetic when trying to achieve something and communicate things. Very creative. Yeah, a lot of self-care. And yeah, emotions are very well balanced. This is, I mean, I'm loving this. Okay, this is a great day to get a tarot reading, especially if you have a question on your mom, your past, something with your family, or feeling safe, or you trying to purchase a home of some sort. Yeah, the intuition with Mercury is there. Okay, very positive. Or if you have something that you want to discuss from your past and have questions about your past, that Mercury trining Mars is going to be positive. Now, on the 25th of February, now we have Mercury conjunct Saturn, okay? 20 degrees, 24, 23, 22, 21. Ooh, it gets deep. This is something that is a rebirth of transition of some sort, this aspect. And when you have Mercury in Pisces, again, the fantasy, the love and communication, and not really putting things to words. And now it's conjunct is very realistic, very pessimistic, very serious energy. There's structure and intuition, but there's a love aspect or a charity aspect added to it. Very serious conversations, very serious tone here, deep and meaningful conversations. It could be some emotional clarity. There's focus, creativity. So you're no more just like lost in the sauce. Pisces is lost in the sauce, but with Saturn there, it's grounding some stuff. There's some mental discipline here. Yeah, I was going to say something, but it's also dealing with healing, or something dealing with psychology, or something dealing with a transformation of some sort. Okay. Let me see what I have here. Globally, this could be an emphasis on mental health. And there's responsible communication, and we are dealing with water. Okay. So a lot of elements of water. Maybe there's restrictions. Maybe there's said like you cannot pass this border, which is in the water. Oh, this could be like the canal kind of situation that Trump is talking about. Let's see what happens on the 25th. Now, February 27th, we have a new moon. New moon is going to be at 9 degrees, and it's in the sign Pisces. New moons are positive, okay? New moons are all about manifesting, and it's in the sign Pisces, so it's really about love. This is going to affect all my mutable signs, okay? Now, people who may not be happy are the Virgos. They may be like, oh, this emotion, there's something I'm not seeing eye to eye. My drive and my emotions not working, but still, as a collective, it's positive. Now it is squaring Jupiter, so there's something big that could be happening, very emotional. Pisces does represent deaths and endings. I do have to put that out there. So there could be an ending of something, and there's a manifestation of that. Okay. But it's dealing with a spiritual renewal, your intuition, your imagination, compassion, forgiveness, releasing, escaping the mundane, manifesting your dreams. Okay. I'm going to go over this way more detail, but This is what all those things could represent. And then if we're talking about at 9 degrees, there's something dealing with publishing, higher learning, something dealing with religion, something dealing with around the world culturally as well. Okay, so just set some mindful, some soulful intentions, engage in maybe some creative projects during this new moon. You can manifest anything you want. Know that Jupiter is there. Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, so there's something communicative or something dealing with debates, and it's making it bigger than ever. But it could be dealing with luck as well. Just stay grounded. Now, on the last day of February, on the 28th, we end with a big bam. Mercury in Pisces, it enters that pre-shadow phase. So this is when all the planets, we were doing so well February 23rd. Now on the 28th, this is the last day where we get more of the icky. Okay, Mercury is in a pre-shadow phase retrograde. Venus is already pre-shadow phase retrograding. So we still have a little more days. Actually, let me see. We have until March 2nd. Okay. But on the 28th, now Mercury in Pisces starts to have that ickiness of, can you think straight? I am going to tell you that Mercury represents traveling and driving. Pisces represents death. Okay, so that could be happening. I'm not saying to live in fear and don't drive. Absolutely not. I'm just telling you, for some people that could be a possibility. Okay, not for you, for the others. Okay, let's be very clear. But also your time about your intuition may not be working its best. There could be some confusion, some miscommunication, a lot of emotional matters and discussions. You got to revisit your creativity. That may be like, oh, I'm not, like the communication of my creativity is not coming out very well. Like I can't communicate it. Anything dealing with the spirituality and emotional alignment might be an issue. Okay. Just pay attention to reoccurring themes anytime a planet is retrograding. What are the themes? Write it down, because Mercury is starting here. It's going to move here. It's going to come back. There's repeated steps. You got to prepare for any type of reflection, any type of internal anything dealing with internal energy. Anytime Mercury is retrograding, double check anything, and it's in a pre-shadow phase. So if you have to sign any paperwork, double check it, especially if it's dealing with Pisces things, dealing with spirituality, charity. If you're like, oh, I'm going to give this away, you got to sign a paper. Read the fine print. Okay. If you're dealing with someone who is ending something, it doesn't have to be a death, but it could be a death, but it could be an end of a job, an end of a career, an end of a partnership, an end of something, and you're starting something new and you have to sign that paperwork. Just double check. Okay. Be mindful of the details, especially with traveling, contracts, any type of important conversations on the emails. Just double check before you do it and set some boundaries. Okay. Now I'm going to just pull some cards for what we have for this month, and then I will see you guys Monday. Okay, Monday should be Uranus and Gemini. It should definitely be Uranus and Gemini. Okay, but let's see what we have for this month of February for the collective. Oh, I also have to do pick a card for February. We have the King of Discs. You guys, this is a card of finances. Okay, so everyone's going to be saving their money. Everyone's going to be very charitable. Everyone's going to be on their perfect health. Okay, everyone's going to be setting some boundaries, thinking about long-term energy and taking their time and having patience. You reap what you sow kind of energy. Okay, especially when it comes to tangible items, especially when it comes to your home, especially when it comes to your car, especially when it comes to that coin, your gold, your resources, all that. You're thinking more long-term, and you're being very conservative, and you're being very charitable. This is the gift and receive kind of energy, and this is also your health and the father time. Okay, all that is involved in the month of February. We have the Two of Swords. We also have the energy of, oh, which way should I go? I'm at a standstill. I can't decide. On this side, it's got, I'm looking at the card. She's balancing and doing the tree stance. But on this side, we have the night energy, and on this side, we have the day energy. So we have this external versus the internal, and I can't decide which way to go. We have the masculine versus the feminine, meaning we want to pursue or the extroverted energy, but we also have this introverted energy, and it's more spiritual and yeah, that makes me think of the Aries and Pisces energy. And there's this like indecisive. And what happens when you're indecisive? In February, oh, we have the High Priestess. She says, use your intuition and use it wisely. Okay. You want to be emotionally wise. You want to use your intuition as your wisdom. Okay. Not the books, your intuition. Okay. What is God telling you? What are you feeling? That is what you want to use in the month of February. What is your gut telling you? Why does it feel funny in this room? It feels funny in this room and I need to leave. I feel unsafe. I know everyone's saying it's safe. I know the words here say it's safe, but I'm feeling another way. So I'm going to leave, or I'm going to communicate that in some way. Okay. Always go off of your intuition. That is what it's saying in the month of February. And also save that coin. Work on that diet, think of long term, set your goals, and be responsible. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys, all of you guys, Monday, right? I will see you guys Monday. Don't forget to like and to do the things that I told you to do.